So today is the show day. We just did a little bit of a rehearsal and warm-up class. We have a little break until we come back for premiere. I feel good and I feel ready because I think I processed the rehearsal from the last time when I felt a bit sad. At least that happened not in the show, and I know how to manage the stress, which is I think I should just not rush, take time, and talk about what I want to say during each chapter of the piece, which my ballet mistress and the choreographer advised me. I'm gonna, get ready and be ready for the show. Warm-up クラスが終わってこれからあと15分ぐらいで本番です。I think I'm ready and I'm excited to live Carmen's life. I'm nervous, but I'm gonna try to enjoy the show. Yep. We did it! Yay! Did you like dancing with me?
Yes, of course.
Iznenađena sam, a bila sam zabrinuta kako će publika reagovati, ali bili su srećni, pa smo im...
So it's been quite a while since the performances of Carmen, and I could see the situation from outside perspective. I would like to share about how I deal with the pressure and performance anxiety, because from this production, I think I've learned a lot about myself and how I manage pressure from the performance. I thought it would be helpful for people who are watching this channel to get the tips of how to deal with this kind of stress, pressure, and anxiety. So first of all, I would like to talk about how I got casted to the role of Carmen for Carmen. We had 2 months of rehearsal, like I said previously. On the first week, the choreographer came in. We had this audition week. We all learned few phrases from what he has idea to put into the production. We learned some solo and partnering stuff and group sections, and then the choreographer decided the casting after a week. The audition process sounds stressful, but for me it was not that stressful because I just joined this company. I just wanted to enjoy the movement even though it wasn't really familiar movement. Yes, I would like to get good casting, but I can't really show how I dance if I don't enjoy. That's where I come from. I try to enjoy learning choreography as much as possible, and it was fun. So after a week, the casting got announced. I was, of course, really happy that I got casted to Carmen. When I joined the previous company, I remember we did Carmen on my first year, and I was a core. I was watching always from the back, and I thought this Carmen role is fascinating and probably rewarding for dancers to dance because it's such an emotional, also very human-like role. So that was my image. I didn't think that I would be able to dance this role in my professional career, but it happened, so I was really happy. And the rehearsal started. Like I told you, it's a whole new production, so it was a creating process. It's not like learn the choreography off of something already set. It's creating from scratch. So the choreographer was in Montenegro for first 4 weeks or 5 weeks in total, including the audition week. During that time, we created the production, which was honestly a bit stressful because even though I felt pretty good and could enjoy during the audition, it was very different style from what I'm used to dance. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I struggled a lot, especially in the beginning. I am not the kind of person who watched the choreography once and can do it. I know it's kind of embarrassing because I've been professional for a while, but that's not what I'm forte at, I would say. It was very frustrating because I approach it in the similar way as I work with other productions, but it didn't work at all. The more I try, the more the worse it got, I felt like. I really don't like when I get the same or similar corrections during the rehearsal because I feel like I'm not making the progress. For example, for more classical pieces, lines are important, making the shape is important, right? For this production especially, you have to tell the story with the step. So I had to talk while I dance with my body. If you're not really sure about step, it's very unconvincing, and I knew it, but it was really hard because I had to think about other notes, like technical notes, at the same time as I tried to tell the story. So in the beginning, it was really hard because this movement is not familiar, but I have to be convincing, but I just couldn't do it.
Ooh, I'm editing the video now, and I have to say that the most difficult step for this production was walking. It's really hard to walk like Carmen. This was the most difficult technical step I had to figure out.
I wanted to meet the expectation from choreographer, my ballet mistress, and myself. And also, this is a bit embarrassing, but I got emotional during the rehearsal. I cried. I just tried, but I just could not make the progress. So one day I was emotional and I actually cried. The choreographer told me to use that frustration into the movement. I realized that I have to believe in myself and be patient with myself. Yes, I'm not the kind of dancer who can do everything from the beginning. So I always had to work harder and think more than other dancers in order to make the dancing and art work. Even it takes time. If I let myself be patient and process everything little by little, I knew that I can do it. That was my motivation. In order to break this cycle, I had to let myself make mistakes, and I have to let this go of, oh, I have to be perfect. I have to make this line. I feel like I struggled about this until towards the end. Anyways, the choreographer left after 4 or 5 weeks of creating process, and we had 2 weeks of rehearsing with the ballet mistress. We had this time to process all the information we got. We could take time to really microscope every single step and how to make things work with her help. And it was really nice to process because she's really experienced at contemporary, classical, and also neoclassical everything. So she could really see my habit of how I dance. So it was really helpful for me to find how I should approach to this kind of style. That gave me confidence. I actually do like rehearsing than actual performance because I like to really dive into these details and get the movement into my body. I really like that feeling because I feel like I'm making the progress. And after 2 weeks, we were in good shape And then the choreographer came back, and then we had a run through, and then it was so bad. I remember this. I was not dancing like I was rehearsing for 2 weeks. I was really nervous. I wanted to impress the choreographer and also the ballet mistress how much I worked hard, and I thought about it. The dancing was not good. I was not real. I was very shallow, and I thought about it, and it's because I was seeking for external validation. I was so scared of what they think about me. I wasn't grounded to the character, so that's why I wasn't dancing well, or like wasn't there even though I'm dancing. My character wasn't there, and I think it looked very passive and people-pleasing dancing. And on the show week, I filmed this, and you guys saw this preparing for the week to the premiere. And it was very stressful because, the costume wasn't working. I had to change the partner, and I wasn't rehearsing with him until 2 or 3 days before premiere, and it was a stressful situation. And I think not just me, everyone was stressed. But weirdly, I didn't really panic in the studio, even though I was anxious and stressed. Actually, I was more acting calm the more the stress level got higher. I realized that I can be peace with the fear. It sounds weird when I say it out loud. I was pretty confident at the point that I can make this production happen because, for example, I had to change my partner for Toreador 3 times already before this, and everything was working with all partners, and I knew that I can dance with everyone no matter what. So I was already pretty confident. And also, I did my research and analyzing Carmen as much as I could until the show week. So I was already pretty ready and calm and grounded with myself about my dancing. My weakness is I like to be in the comfort zone, which I think it sounds bad for ballet dancers, but I'm just being real. I'm the kind of person who like routine. I like to feel everything similar in order to make my technique work. So that's why it was hard for me to enter this kind of style. However, I could break that cycle, I feel like, during this rehearsal process. So I was like, hold on. If I change the partner in last minute, I think it will be a good thing. Because in real life, you can't really expect what happens next. Like, even when you are talking with people, you never really know what other people would say. You never know what happens 2 hours later. So, of course, I know the storyline. If I'm not really used to dancing with this specific partner, I'm gonna really communicate with him on the moment, on the stage. It looks more real, I think. Like, that was my idea. Of course, we have to know what the choreography is, but even there is some errors or mistakes, it's not going to be a mistake if I'm in the role of Carmen and grounded and feel my partner. If I think about what this scene wants to tell the audience, I could make this each step very meaningful. That situation kind of changed how I dance with my Don Jose, with my main partner. I always had Juan for Don Jose for 2 months. So we're kind of already used to each other. But from this Toreador situation, I feel like I could also be the similar approach to Don Jose as well, even though I'm used to him. So I think in this whole production, overall, it was really good that I had to change partner 4 times until the end. Like I said previously, yes, I was very nervous, and I went home after the general rehearsal when I couldn't really dance the way I wanted to. I just stopped doubting myself because I remembered how much I rehearsed with everyone, my partners and my ballet mistress, the choreographer, everyone. Federica, my ballet mistress, told me to really think about what I have to say, how I want to make the statement each scene to tell the story during the show. And I'm pretty happy about it. Of course, like, we can always improve, but I don't hate myself after the show, so that's great. I love it. But anyways, that was my thought process and how I deal with that pressure for performing the role of Carmen. I'm really happy about this because I feel like I am mentally and physically stronger after everything, even though I'm older. But I like the fact I'm older now because I feel like I'm more confident because I have more experience. So even stuff is not working, I always know that I will make it work. It was really eye-opening for me as well to react this way because I thought honestly I would have panicked more. It was very rewarding experience. Again, I couldn't do this alone. I want to thank my Don Jose, my partner Juan, and of course again my ballet mistress Federica and my partner and also the choreographer Ricardo, because I have to be honest that I doubted myself, especially in the beginning of the rehearsal process, but they never gave up on me and they always helped me when I wanted to communicate with them. I always could, and I really appreciate that open communication and the help. But anyways, I'm really happy about the performance. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please do like and leave the comment. See you guys in the next video. じゃあからみんなもハッピーダンシング。またね。